Hey guys, this is Susie with the Secret Garden of Eden. I decided to go ahead and do my live tonight. So I thought I would pop in, say hi, answer some questions. Got a little bit of stuff to talk about. One, notice the glasses are different. Stories. I've noticed a lot of us tell all kinds of stories. So I thought we would talk about some stories and see what the best way to go about changing our stories are. Yes, a fellow Chicagoan. Have a pizza for me. Or Jeans and Jude's hot dog. That would be totally awesome. I haven't had one since 2011. I really, been doing a lot of thinking today. I did a video, uploaded it on YouTube, talking about awareness, consciousness, and our words. And tonight I thought we would touch on stories. Once we figure out the story that we want to tell, how do we tell it? That's easy, that part. That's just constantly talking about what you want and repeating the story as if it was a movie and just constantly talking about your movie. But finding your story and owning it seems to be a big thing that we all struggle with. I've struggled with it in the past. Everybody's struggled with it. So I was thinking, something that I've been thinking a lot about lately is we all have something that we're good at. We all have something that we brag about. I'm really, really good at helping people get back together. I'm really good at fixing relationships. I get frustrated because I see that people get hurt because they don't have the love of their life, or the relationship is going south and they don't know how to fix it. I've been in the same boat. And tonight, owning the old story is a big part of creating the new story. So I didn't want to be a specific person coach. I wanted to be somebody who could help everybody with every aspect of their life. And my techniques can help everybody with every aspect of their life. But if you can manifest a specific person, you can get your house, you can get your car, you can get the bank account you want. But since I'm good at it, I might as well own that story. I might as well sit there and say, when it comes to helping people fix their relationships, I'm amazing. I truly 100% am. And creating my group, my YouTube channel, it is to help people. And I really do care about the people that I help. It's not just something I do for shits and grins. It's something I do because I had a failed marriage. I've had failed relationships. I've struggled with relationships. I've learned how to better deal with relationships. So I can tell you things that I did wrong. I can tell you things to do right. The thing is, until you own that you created that nightmare in the back, the one that we learned to slam the door on and never open because we bolt it shut, bury it in sand, and then freeze it, and do all of these little tricks to make sure that that doesn't come back. But I found this week, it does come back. And sometimes it comes back to bite you, and sometimes you learn from that being bit. So what do we do? Well, to start with, we need to define what a good relationship is. So I always say 3 things. The first thing is what makes you happy in a relationship. That happiness is sharing the responsibilities of the household chores, always having respectful, loving conversations, even when there's a blow up and things have exploded. You can still solve that problem respectfully. Do they cook? Do they clean? Do they take care of your car? Because we all know that's a big one for me. Do they do the grocery shopping? Another big one for me. Then romance. What is your definition of romance? That's number 2. Do you want candlelight and wine? Do you want sunsets overlooking the Eiffel Tower? Somebody was talking about romantic poems and wanting romance in their relationship. The third one is their sex life. If you have a great sex life, it's what you define as great. And when you put those 3 components together, that builds your relationship. So you have to build your foundation. So for me, building my foundation is owning whatever I created, because that starts you off on a clean footing. So if I own I screwed up, then I can work on fixing it. So how do you fix it? Well, step 1 is to change your story. And the story is easy to flip. They love me. I'm the love of their life. They're always thinking about me. The more you're telling people they love you, they think about you, they're going to. The more you tell people about how they're disrespectful and they're not sending you romantic poems or 5-page love letters, the more that's what you're going to get. So the more you talk, the more you need to remember that your imagination, your thoughts, and your words, the more they're in alignment, the faster your manifestation comes. But if you're thinking it in your head and you wouldn't want to say it out loud, you need to stop the inside of the head thoughts. So if your head's walking around saying, they're not talking to me, they're not answering my texts, they're not doing the romance, I want a relationship like this and I'm not getting it, and all of this is in your head and you're saying it out loud, you know you're out of alignment. But if you're saying it in your head and the opposite is out loud, you're getting your swans in a row. And we all know my swans have to be in a row. It's 3 steps to manifest. Change your story. Ask better questions. And if you're speaking out loud, make sure it's focused forward with what you're doing. It's not easy. It truly is not. Because if it was, none of us would struggle. So if I use the I am, which I believe the I am is God, if I use him to create my life, then in my head I can easily say, hey, thank you, God, for helping me create this. Thank you, God, for giving me the love of my life. Thank you for everything. And I don't have to be in a good mood. I don't have to be in a bad mood. I don't have to be neutral. The words don't have to be perfect. All it has to do is line up, focus forward. And focus forward is something you are going to hear me talk about until the cows come home, leave, and come home again. Because in order to focus forward, all 3 of our steps have to be in alignment. So the story you want to tell, they love me, they respect me, they appreciate me, they're very romantic, we have an amazing sex life. And these are things that everybody's going to ask about. Everybody's going to talk about, because we do it at work. Somebody's going through a divorce. Well, what went wrong with your marriage? Somebody's going through a rough time in their relationship. Why is it going wrong? And we feed off of that drama, because that drama is a football game. That drama is a Hollywood movie, and it can be any Hollywood movie. It can be an action movie. It can be a chick flick. An action movie, they still have romance in it, because a lot of times the guy's going to save the love of his life. And then other times the chick is going to save the love of her life. Depends on the Hollywood movie. But they all start with a really amazing, they meet, then chaos, they get back together, and off they live happily ever after. But we don't really know that they live happily ever after because the story ended. We assume. So if you change your story, And you just keep affirming and assuming that that's the new story. They love me. They want to be with me. They do this. They do that. It's back to, that's my boyfriend. That's my husband. My husband's romantic. My husband writes me poems. My husband does the dishes. He's amazing at his basketball shots with his dirty clothes in the laundry basket. But when we get that person, because we're walking around and we're saying they're praying to marry us, we're praying to marry them, we're focusing solely on the marriage, we still have to make sure it's happily ever after, which is why I preach happily married, happily married, happily married. Because so many people that I got together, when they first got together, they got married, but it wasn't happy. And then we had to fix so they were happy and stayed together. Because how many times have you broke up, got back together, broke up again? Because as soon as something goes wrong, they think, oh, that's why I left him. That's why I'm out of here. I'm checking out again. So in order to get them, it's a single-minded focus. Your words don't matter. Negative words, positive words, happy, angry, joyous, frustrated. It's the same thing with any manifestation. You're frustrated with your bank account. You're happy with your bank account. But you have to totally focus 100% on what you want. And I don't care how I got it, but I did. And that's something I think everybody should write on their bathroom mirror. I don't know how I did ... And then underneath it in capital letters, but I did. I got the car. I got the bank account. I got the husband. I got the health. I got a better camera to do YouTube videos, or I got an editor. It doesn't matter what the desire is. So many people focus, though, on their words. And then, how do I break the old story? That's the new story you're telling. Well, my words have to be in alignment. I'm trying to change my story. If you got a pen and a paper and you scripted it, most of the time we give them the words that they wouldn't say. The other time we forget to give them words we say. So everybody knows the movie Rocky. Carl Weathers, Sylvester Stallone were standing in the ring to go boxing. They were going to do the boxing scene, and Carl asked Sylvester Stallone, what are we doing? He goes, well, I just thought we'd wing it. And Carl goes, we can't wing it. So Stallone had to step out of the ring, sit down, and write out the boxing match. Was it a right punch, a left punch? The foot goes here, the foot goes there, the body leans this way, the body leans that way. He had to script it all out so that first fight scene you saw with them, he had to script. Because we're all just really winging it. And then we're jumping from a YouTube video to a Facebook group to another YouTube video to another Facebook group. And we are never really focusing on how to change our story. And obviously, the story is the most important thing. Because if you're not telling only about what you want, then you're not telling the right story. So your words coming out of your mouth, if you wouldn't say them out loud, don't say them in your head. If you say them in your head and you won't say them out loud, don't say them in your head. It really is easy when you think of it in those terms. So I don't want to talk about the fact that my bank account is negative. I'm only talking about the fact that my bank account is positive. So in my head, every time I look at my bank account, I make more than I spend. My words, who's got money for margaritas? I do. I always have money. And they're like, how do you always have money? Because I always have money. It's the three coming together to say, I have. I did the definitions this week because I think it's funny. The word hope according to the dictionary, is wishing for something to happen, knowing it never will. In my YouTube video, I live in a town that was hit by an EF5 tornado. It destroyed our town. We rebuilt the high school. They called the high school Hope. Did they call it because they were hoping for something that never happened? No. They called it Hope because this town thought it was faith. It was rebuilding. We had the faith that we would come back from the tornado. So faith is my definition of the word hope. Somebody else's definition of want is desire. Somebody else's definition of desire is wishing for something. My definition of want equals desire equals I already got it. So if I want something, I desire something, and I already have it, I'm coming from the end of my desire. So we take this back again to the specific person. You're in love with somebody, and you're doubting whether they love you. Heck no! Girls, guys, walk around. They're in love with me. They can't live without me. I am the reason for their existence. I am totally 100% the love of their life. Before I realized all of this, I used to walk around and somebody would say something and I'd be like, no, he loves me. I'm the love of his life. Guess what? I am. I'm the love of his life. My words before I was awakened said I was the love of his life. But once I awoke, which we all are now awake and realize we create our reality, we start doubting, we start questioning, and we start focusing behind us. Why isn't this working? Why isn't it happening? I can't even manifest a text message. They're not in alignment. If you're really truly living from the end, you don't care about a text message. You don't care about a phone call. You don't care if they're sitting on the couch watching you make a fool out of yourself. You don't care if you bump into them in public, because you are physically 100% knowing it's done. And how do I know it's done? Because I picked it up and I said it's done. I changed my glasses. My other glasses are a lot stronger. I've been walking around saying I see better without my glasses than with my glasses. So I went back to my old glasses. And as you can see, my old glasses, they have glue on them to hold them together. It's how long I wore them. And now I really only need them to read small print. My story, I see better without them. Not that I have perfect vision, because perfect vision might not be something I can actually live from the end. But if I see better without my glasses, I'm living from the end. If he loves me and I'm the love of his life, I'm at the end, but am I living of or from? Depends on what my next words are. And that's where you change your story. I'm the love of his life, therefore he does everything in his power to be with me. I'm the love of his life, he's always chasing me. I'm the love of his life, he's always texting me. Because I'm the love of his life, he can't go 5 minutes without texting me. I love the glasses things. My daughter walks around literally and says, I'm blind, I can't see. And I told her, you need to start saying I see better without my glasses than with my glasses. And she said she was going to try that because she can't see more than this far in front, like literally my hand to the camera. Little stories, little simple stories. Straight hair, kinky hair, wild, curly hair. Just keep repeating it. Because the more you repeat, I'm happily married, I'm the love of their life, they're always doing nice things for me, they're respectable, That's what you're going to get. You don't have to script it out. Naturally, all day long in our head, we are talking about what's going on in our life. And we're asking questions and telling little stories. So I'm telling a story that he's the love of my life. He's faithful. He's trustworthy. We don't want new glasses. We want them to go bye-bye. New story. Bye-bye glasses. Although I do look really cute in them. But you want it to go bye-bye. And that's the thing. The story. I'm wanting to manifest new glasses. How about manifesting seeing without the glasses? Then you don't have to spend the money on the glasses. You don't have to create new glasses. You don't have to create them doing something. All you have to do is start saying simple things. I see better without my glasses. I'm the love of their life. I'm lucky. I'm always winning. People are always doing nice things for me. I always get great parking spots. Those are things that I started out with, little bitty things. And then you get results because you go to the store and you park 3 or 4 down from the door. Always 3 or 4 down the door. Then you build from the parking spaces. Law of attraction teaches you you're vibrating. No, it's not vibrating. It's matching your imagination, your thoughts, and your words and speaking it out loud. And that is one of the best things to say, Yvonne. I always get what I want. Whether I write it, speak it, think it, I always get what I want. And if it's easy and effortless, that's even better. So when we focus on something, anything, I went from never having coffee to I always get free coffee. And I don't get 1 cup. I get 50, 150, 625 cups of coffee. I mean, if I can manifest a cup of coffee, I can manifest a car. I can manifest a specific person. I can manifest no glasses. I can manifest curly hair. Changing the story is easy. It's just picking a new story. Go watch your favorite movie. Go watch a TV show. I love the TV show Lucifer. Lucifer's in love with Chloe. Chloe's in love with Lucifer. But somebody decided to tell Lucifer that God planted her here on earth to make him mind. So now Lucifer doesn't think Chloe really loves him. So we're in the drama. Does he love her? Yes. Does she love me? Well, God made it that way. This is a story. It's an entertaining, wonderful story. Hollywood created this story. We can take that story and do the same thing. Jared loves me. I love Jared. Well, God brought us together. Yes, we were planted here to be together. Nothing would keep us apart because it was planted, it was ordained, it was destined. That story can be taken off the TV screen and brought into your reality. You want a better bank account? Go watch a Tom Cruise movie where he said, "Hello, I'm looking for my wife." He left a major sporting firm where they were the agents and started his own agency. And his motto was, "Show me the money." Show me the money. So how do we get the money? I get refunds. I get checks in the mail. People are dropping money on the ground and I pick it up. Thank you for that. It's all about what we're constantly thinking and saying. Your awareness is your knowing something exists. Your consciousness says it exists. Your words create what happens next. So if we're focusing that we have this amazing story like Lucifer, what are we going to get? A story like Lucifer. If we focus on how to lose a guy in 10 days, we've got her doing an article, him trying to win a bet to produce the advertising campaign, and then their friends realize the two of them are in love, so they conspire to get them together. Now there's a pretty play on the universe. So now everybody's working to make sure we come together. Another great story that we can tell. Every person I meet, all the little minions, I call them minions. I call all the millions of people in the world minions, because the minions work to bring what we want together. It's just like the dwarves in Snow White. They built her a coffin. They found Prince Charming. They brought Prince Charming. He kissed her. They got married and lived happily ever after. So where do you focus your stories from? Is it from the middle where chaos is ensuing? Or is it the beginning and the end where everything is perfect? We're all in the middle because we're in chaos when we're searching and we're reaching and we're trying to figure out exactly what it is that we're creating. So whatever we're creating, we want to tell the beginning story only. I have this amazing boyfriend. He does all these wonderful things for me. Stop talking about the breakup. Stop talking about the arguments. We're back together. The relationship is better than ever. All of those little things that he did at the beginning, he's doing them times 10. What are you going to get? Times 10. You want to get back together and you want to stop a divorce. He loves me. He's chasing me. He's begging me to take him back. He realizes that I am the love of his life and he can't live without me. If he can't live without me, he's not going to want to divorce me. He's going to want to stay married to me. So the more you talk and the more you focus forward, you need to tell only the beginning and the end. Chaos? That's a great movie. The guy broke into a bank, stole a penny from everybody's bank account, and walked off with $1 billion. But to get that $1 billion, there was a lot of chaos in that movie. And that's where we're living. And that's why I stress, why am I living my dream life? Why am I happily married? Why is everything always working out for me so easily and effortlessly? Because learning from my mistakes and getting sucked down the rabbit hole, I don't want to live in the rabbit hole. We all know that movie. There's a maze down there and you can't find your way out of the maze. But if you stop and turn around and you say, now all I see is clear blue sky, the ocean, and the sand, that's exactly what you're going to get. And since that's what you get, that's what you focus on. So the more we focus totally 100% on everything's working out for me and I'm living my dream life, that's exactly what we're going to get. And Susie's got somebody knocking at her door, so I'm going to have to cut out of here, guys. I didn't expect company. I love you. We will pick this up again next Wednesday night. We'll do it at 7 o'clock Central Time, though. Love to all.